What's going on, everybody? This is Josh from Just Josh Sports, and I'm here with Kentucky State quarterback Denim Johnson. So, man, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Denim Johnson, Kentucky State quarterback. I'm going in my third year here at Kentucky State. Man, I'm just excited. I'm ready to go.
I want to start off with this one. As you said, you told me before that you feel like you were underrated quarterback in this conference. So, beyond the stats, what do you think is the biggest part of your game or leadership that gets overlooked by others outside?
Um, I would say just leadership by example. Not everybody has the vocal piece or the vocal standpoint. But I mean, when you walk in the field house or you walk in the weight room or the meeting rooms or anything, football related with the team, it should be an example set by your leader or your quarterback or whoever y'all say the guy is. And so I think that's just something that's undeniable with me. And I always want my teammates to gravitate towards my positive energy. So everything is flowing right. And then I'll say like another thing that I feel might just go a little unnoticed is that I only had one turnover last year. Like that's not done everywhere. I mean, it's some people that's probably done that before in this conference, but I mean to only throw one interception the whole season is it's kind of crazy. I'm not to get into stats, but completion percentage was high. Um, just I'm just smart. When I was at a game, reading defenses, just a lot of things come with it that I feel like I slip under the radar a little bit. A lot of it is probably my size or just Kentucky State not being on the winning side so much, even though we've been improving since I've been here. But it's just a couple things that I feel like might slide under the rug that it shouldn't.
Looking back, what do you think was the biggest key, like a practice, a meeting, or a specific play that flipped the switch for the team after the tough start?
Um, I would say, I mean, after that loss to Albany State, that was our fifth loss, and then we had that heartbreaking loss to Morehouse in the Chicago Classic. Um, something just kind of clicked to us, and we had a meeting with Coach Huggins, and he was like, that everything else is on y'all now. It's like, do y'all want to win? Like, do y'all want to make the sacrifices and make the changes in order to flip the program around? And from that practice forward, that first practice going into week 6, it was just a change. You could see everybody's focus and energy was up. It was different. Something about us the first 5 weeks. It seemed like we were just there, just to say that we were playing football. And then as we got into that homecoming win and kept going forward, you could see the progress that we're making and the change that shifted for that team.
And you talk about a teammate on offense whose performance was essential to your personal success and the team's turnaround.
I would say Jaden Hill. I mean, everybody. I mean, that's a pretty common one. Everybody knows that one. I mean, Jaden he's just a ball player. Like he gonna be where he need to be, and as long as you get the ball in his hands, I mean, he gonna do the rest for you. Um, and he's just smart. He's also knowledgeable of the game. He also knows how to recognize coverage, recognize defense, just know where he's supposed to be at, whether he got to sit, whether he got to extend his routes. Just a lot of stuff that receivers should know. He really takes pride in some of those things, and that's what makes him a highlight player. And then going into this year, me and him just really got on the chemistry level during the spring. Was to where like, hey, like if you see this and I see this, like we ain't even got to say it. We should already know what we should be doing. And so I feel like it's gonna be a good year for me and him, and I'm excited to see what he does.
Finishing strong creates mass momentum going to the offseason. And how do you think that success has changed the standard and the energy within the program?
You just don't want to start. You don't want to start the season off with a loss at all. I mean, that's the number one momentum killer right there. And so just coming off the end of that season, going 5-1, and going into spring practice, like every practice that we had, those 15 practices, we were very intentional on leaving off or picking up where we left off that last season. And so coming into fall camp, that's kind of just been our motto is like, we don't want to start that season like that again. Like that's a non-negotiable. We gotta come out, we gotta handle business week 1, and then take it a game at a time from there. But definitely ended off that season 5-1. and going into the spring, we were really locked in and eyes on the goal, and that's a side championship.
For those who haven't been paying attention, what should they expect from you and this team as the quarterback next year?
I think a high powered offense that's that's gonna move around, line up flat, line up fast, and we're just gonna try to mow you down. We picked up some good guys on the O line. A good O line coach. He's pushing our guys. He even pushes me to my limits, and that's something I think that I also need a little bit more of too. And then we got playmakers. Like if we just get our guys the ball, they're gonna be special. They're gonna be do a lot. And so I think the offense gonna be high powered and um, not even just offense, our defense, man. Just going against them every day. They fly around, they make plays. There's a lot of back and forth between us. And so when you have practices like that, and ups and downs are flowing between both sides of the ball, you recognize that you got a pretty good team. So I they should expect a lot from us. They should expect more improvement. Since I've been here, we went 3-7 my freshman year, and then last year we finished 5-6. So definitely hoping and looking forward to a better season than that.
How does the experience of last year's turnaround provide a blueprint for handling the adversity on the way to the goal of this season?
That it showed just the athletes at this school. That's not even just football. Honest, if I'm being honest, it showed a lot of people counted us out after starting on five. Like you don't expect the team to win any games after that. And so just everybody seeing how we just won back to back to back to back to back after that, I think it kind of just like it said like it was an eye opener for the school and for some of the players on my team. Actually, like it probably woke them up and was like, hey, like we actually can do this. Like we can get this done, and if we say we want to get it done, if we just put the work in, put the time into what we say we want. But I think that was the blueprint. Like that alone, just that the shift in the season was big. Like that was what needed. Because honestly, who knows what would have happened as far as coaching staff goes, and players if that shift in that season doesn't happen.
Where would you rank yourself amongst the quarterbacks in the conference?
Going off of last year, I honestly feel like I should have been in that top three category. I pay high respects to Isaiah Knowles. That's my guy. And David Wright. I paid respect to him when he was at Allen my freshman year. He was nice. But after that, I mean, when you compare, if you're just going off numbers and comparing stats, you can see whose completion percentage is the highest. You can see who has the least amount of turnovers. And just anything. There's so much stats that you can go look at and see how I match up with those guys that they got over me, and it's just clearly like disrespect. And this year, I'm not big into rankings or preseason anythings or where they put people at, but there's some quarterbacks that I outplayed by a long shot last year that they have over me this year, and so it's just kind of confusing. So for me, I would say I'm one of the best in this conference. Honestly, I'm smart. I know to go to football. I don't turn it over. I get my guys involved, and that's really all you can ask for out of your guys. So for me, I always feel like I'm the best, but I also do pay my respects and acknowledgement to the other guys that handle business in the conference as well.
How hard did Kentucky hit the portal, and who do you think is going to be the most exciting addition to the team?
We hit the portal hard, man. We went and got the pieces that we needed, and I feel like that was most valuable to us. I mean, we needed some big guys up front on both sides of the ball, and we needed a couple skill players, a couple guys to fire on defense. Some playmakers on offense. Man, I'm most excited about John McCall. He had played at McNeese, played at University of Louisiana. Nice size receiver, man. He gets it done, and he's gonna be a nightmare for a lot of DBs in this conference. I can tell you that much. Him and Jaden on the same side is gonna be kind of scary. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, and everybody else should be too.
I'm not gonna lie, man. There's been some trash talk from Central State coming up for the Detroit Classic, man. So I know that's gonna be a big game. How you feeling about that one?
I ain't got nothing to say about Central State, man. I ain't got nothing to say though. Saturday coming real soon, and everybody got to put their pads on, and walk into Detroit at the same time at 1 o'clock on Saturday. So I hope everything that they saying, what happened last year in November, I hope they fueled off of that because they gonna need that. They gonna need that.
Okay, man, I really appreciate you giving out some time for this, man. It was really good talking to you, dude.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it for having me.